Administration and His Excellency Governor Tong Akenmor and his government. Our meeting has not been only today, we have been meeting for the last 3 days, and mainly is focusing on the resolutions that we made in the conference last year. We made a commitment that the state was going to do certain resolution, and the national ministry is also responsible for certain resolution, the community and the local government. So I had come as a follow-up to see what has changed. That is one. There's still a lot to be done, and our meeting today was to introduce a national team to the state government who is going to oversee the payment of teachers and all the state government officials, particularly in education, in the counties and in the payams. So my team is going to remain behind here with the government to pay the teachers according to the approved new salary structure. This is important, and I wanted the public to know. I also wanted our teachers to know that they will get their rights, and they need to be patient because the committee will go from one county to another, and they will be paying, making sure that those who are government official in education will receive their salaries, their operation costs, and the teachers also will receive according to their grading, because we have a grading system, and that everybody will be receiving their salaries. So this is important to support the state, making sure that the payroll are prepared and everyone has signed a pay sheet, and that people must come with their documentation to show that they are teachers and they are in the class. Not the teachers outside the class, but those who are teaching in the class, with the attendance book that every morning a teacher has come to the class and has signed and is teaching our children. So it is the only way to improve education in this state and in South Sudan. We want to make sure that teachers get their rights, and also that they also do their duty accordingly.
Honorable, upon your arrival
Process, because the conference we held was a conference to reform education. And you cannot say if you have 10 resolutions, they will be implemented in 1 year.
how many of them are achieved?
So far, I don't want to go to details, but I want to tell you that some of the resolutions have already been implemented. Some of the resolutions have not been implemented because it was not a resolution for the states alone. I have my responsibility that I have to implement some of the resolution, and the states and the counties and even the communities. So this is a collective responsibility, and some have been done, some are still not done, and we have to take them step by step to make sure that we are doing the reform, and this reform must benefit our people. This is what we have been working on, and I think that is the part the governor will give its own decision on that, because we have also find out who is in the payroll of the ministry and who is the payroll that is not supposed to be. There are people who have gone for studies, they are in the payroll. We don't know where they got the permission. There are people who are absentees, their names are still in the payroll. There are people who are constitutional post holders, they are in the payroll. And there are people who are not in any, but also in the payroll. And there are those working with NGOs and they're in the payroll. I don't want anybody to assume that when the governor going to take decisions, then people will say, oh, these are the people who have the right. No. The Ministry of General Education at the national level prepare a budget for teachers, and for the ministry headquarters at the state. We pay all the officials, from the state to the county to the payam, and then we pay the teachers, and we pay them what we called operation costs for the offices to run. But there are people who will want to politicize education. Education is free from politics. We are dealing with the student, we are dealing with teachers, and we wanted everybody to support that. The resources that the government of South Sudan get to pay the teachers, it is exclusively for teachers, not the teachers who are not in the class. You cannot carry a title of a teacher and you are not in the class. If you are a teacher, then you have to be there for 8 hours giving services to the people of South Sudan. And who are the people of South Sudan? Is this generation that we are supposed to prepare to be leaders of tomorrow. So it is true, and I think we are going to handle that immediately. That is why the team is going to remain behind. I want to have a clean payroll.
Honorable, there have been many teachers who volunteered themselves, especially in the villages. Some people volunteer themselves in the village as sons and daughters of the community to teach their children, and they are not in the payroll. So have you considered the volunteer teachers?
The budget we send is inclusive. The budget we send to the state, it is inclusive. Those who are appointed, those who are volunteers are a part and parcel of what we send here. So we don't segregate and say this one is a volunteer, this one is appointed. No. If they have not been paid, they have to be paid because their budget is there.
السؤال الأخير سعادة الوزيرة، إحنا في ولاية شمال بحر غزال عندنا لاجئين ونازحين جو أبنائهم حتى الآن خارج نطاق التعليم. أنتوا كوزارة دوركم شنو في حل هذا التحدي؟
I think we are aware of that. This was not something planned. It is something that came abruptly. The war broke out in Sudan and our people rushed. It's not only northern Bahr Ghazal. It is also in Unity State. It is also in Upper Nile State. It is also in Western Bahr Ghazal State. It is in Warab. It is in Lake State. So the classes are crowded. But this is a situation that we have to handle it as an emergency. And I think we have been constructing school here in northern Bahr Ghazal. The minister is here. We have brought so many schools, but there will not be enough because the population of learners has grown. There are so many enrollment. So we will still have to push to do more infrastructure to make sure that these children are also accommodated. But I know that the ministry has been trying its best to make sure that these children are accommodated. We have built some schools now. Some have not even been open. Is to bring on board all the children. But they share the same facilities. They share the same facilities which are there. They share the same resources which are there for education because they are our children. Even the refugees share the same with us. Knowing that this country has been a country that is well known, hosting refugees, we don't differentiate. Whatever we get, we share with everybody who is in our country. So it is something that we have considered and we have been helping.
Thank you.
Yeah.